Well, the House Select Subcommittee holding a hearing today on the weaponization of the federal government. This was actually yesterday. One of the witnesses was Democratic presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Yeah, now Kennedy sparred with Florida Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz after the Congresswoman motioned for a roll call vote to censor his testimony. She wanted to go into private session. The Congresswoman lost the vote, but that didn't stop numerous other Democrats from trying to attack Kennedy, to censor him in various ways. Joining us right now to discuss, branding advisor to CEOs Marc Rudov. Marc, what did you think?
Well, look, this doesn't surprise me because that's what the Democrats do. But what didn't surprise me is his own family attacked him. His brother, his sister, and his nephew called him an anti-Semite because of things he said about the COVID vaccine. And what I wanted to point out today is how hypocritical that is, because the Kennedy family never goes after the squad. And the squad wannabe Pramila Jayapal, who called Israel a racist state. So the thing is about RFK Jr. is he's not adhering to the Democrat narrative. Therefore, he needs to be silenced. And I think it was 102 people wrote a letter wanting to kick him out of the session yesterday. What do you expect? This is the same party that called itself the party of women. And now, if women object to men coming into their sports and in their locker rooms, they're now called bigots. So you have to understand who these people are. These people are very hateful, spiteful, power-hungry retrobates. And what they're doing to RFK Jr. is the same thing they do to anybody, Democrat or Republican, who doesn't adhere to the narrative. And the mission is destroy your life. Because, as I've said before, without lying, cheating, stealing, rigging, or censoring, the Democrats can't win anything. And that's what they're trying to do to Bobby Kennedy. They're trying to censor him because he's so much smarter than Joe Biden. Everybody can see it. And he's making a shambles of the Biden campaign. And Biden, of course, is doing a lot of that himself. So, you know, really, what do you expect from these people?
Yeah, Marc, it's interesting, though, because, you know, everyone's calling this, you know, kind of blue on blue. So you have Democrats attacking another Democrat, an iconic American family member of traditional Democrats. Do you think that is, I hear you with the echo chamber, if they don't agree, if someone doesn't agree with what they're saying, then take them down. But do you think there's even more of a revelation that they may be actually threatened by Bobby Kennedy Jr. as we move towards 2024? Because as you pointed out, President Biden seems to be getting in more and more hot water.
Well, of course they're threatened by Bobby Kennedy. And I put this on Twitter. I said that if Biden would debate Bobby Kennedy Jr., Kennedy would wipe the floor with him and demolish his campaign within about 30 seconds. You know, I don't agree with a lot of what Kennedy says, but he's obviously very smart and very well read. And Joe Biden is none of that. And of course they're threatened by it because Joe Biden is an empty suit who's never accomplished anything in his life other than grifting. And everything that Comer et al. Are showing to us is proof of that. So, you know, when Joe came out and said, where's the money? Well, why don't we look at his 4 mansions? We know where the money is. So it just gets worse and worse for Joe every day. And to have a guy as smart as Bobby Kennedy out there, it's just making a shambles of him, making mincemeat of him. And Joe, you know, what can he really do? And I told you before, the fix is in. I think that the election's already been decided. That's why they didn't replace him.
All right.
Because there is no replacement for him. He is the message of the Marxist Party.
All right. Marc Rudov, thank you.
You bet.